Welcome to today's lesson. I'm Siamasaka Kendens, and so I'm going to take you a lesson where we're going to look at a ticker-tape timer. We will discuss how we can actually calculate the tick, the time interval, and the velocity on a ticker tape. And therefore, I urge you to pay particular attention as we are going to go through this lesson. So we go straight into the lesson for today. Well, a ticker tape timer is a piece of apparatus which is used actually to measure time. It comprises of the following apparatus: a 12 volts alternating current power supply, and we have the vibrating unit, which is the vibrating bar, which engraves or makes dots on the ticker tape. And then here we have the cables merely for connecting actually the vibrating unit to actually the power supply. And just below the vibrating bar, we have carbon paper. Carbon paper is merely there to make the dots. It is an image implanter, so it merely makes dots. And then here we have the ticker timer. And so these are the basic parts of a ticker tape timer. In its principle, we notice that here, actually, it shows the flow of the ticker tape, and these are the dots which have been made on the ticker tape, which is flowing in that direction. And here we have the vibrating bar, which actually makes, as the object is moving, it makes actually dots. And you have the carbon paper here, and the magnet is there actually to make the vibrations for the vibrating unit. And this is the power supply, the supply of power. So this is actually a basic presentation of a ticker tape timer. And so as we indicated, the electric vibrator actually will vibrate 50 times in each second. And the 50 dots are therefore made in each second. And therefore, the time interval between one tick, between one dot and another dot, which is engraved, for example, if this is dot A and this is dot B. So the time interval between dot A and dot B, which are adjacent, is known as a tick. This is very important. A tick is not a dot, but the time interval between two adjacent dots. And therefore, the time that it will take for a tick, it will be 1 over 50 times the dots are made in 1 second, which gives us actually 0.1 0.02 seconds. So 1 tick, therefore, is equal to 0.02 seconds. This is very important. And now that we have known how to calculate the ticks, here are the basic questions. Question A and question B. And the question is, calculate the number of ticks. The ticks here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And therefore strip A has 8 ticks. It has actually 8 ticks. What about B? 1, 2, 3. So B has 3 ticks. 3 ticks. So we have known how to interpret the number of ticks on a ticker tape. And now we need to know how to calculate the time interval from the first tick to the last tick, to the first dot to the last dot on a ticker tape timer that vibrates 50 times per second. So here is strip A. The first thing, if we are to calculate the time interval between the first tick to the last tick, we need to know the number of ticks. Tick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And therefore, for A, we have 8 ticks. What is the time interval? The time interval is equal to the number of ticks. Multiplied by the time interval for the tick, which is 0.02 seconds. And this gives us 8 multiplied by 0.02 seconds. And this gives us actually 0.16 seconds. This is the time interval from the first tick to the last tick. For part B, we need to know how many ticks are there. 1, 2, 3. And therefore, B has 3 ticks. What is the time interval between the first tick and the last tick? It is actually equal to the number of ticks multiplied by 0.02 seconds, which gives us 3 multiplied by 0.02 seconds, which gives us 0.06 seconds. So we have known how to calculate the time interval from the first dot to the last dot on a ticker tape. Here is another question where they want us to determine the speed of an object based on the dots on a ticker tape. We note that here the dots are far apart. It means that the object is moving faster. So a fast moving object will have the dots which are far apart. This is number A. Number B, the dots are close to each other, and therefore the object is slow. Is moving slowly. So we have known that on a ticker tape, if the dots are closer, it means the object is moving slowly. If the dots are far apart, it means that object is moving faster. Now, let's determine how we determine whether the object is moving with the uniform velocity on a ticker tape. So we note that this is the motion of the object or the tape, and therefore it's moving in that direction. So the closest to you, because you are pulling the tape, it becomes your initial velocity. Initial velocity. And this one at the end, it becomes the final velocity. So if you not see, the dots are of the same distance at the initial velocity as well as final velocity. And therefore, you notice that actually this object is moving with the constant velocity or uniform velocity. So on a strip, if the dots are of the same distance between each other, it means that object is moving with the constant velocity. So we have known how to determine an object's speed on a ticker tape by looking at the dots. If the dots are of the same distance between each other, it means that the object was moving with the constant velocity. At times it can be represented in that manner, where in the x-axis you have the length in centimeters, and here we have the ticks. you notice that this is the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So it means that each one of these ticks, strips, each one was moving actually with the same velocity, because all of them actually, the dots are aligned in the same line. And so since these are in the same line, here they are in the same line, here they are in the same line, they are in the same line, it means this object is moving with the uniform velocity. So we have known how we can represent on a graph uniform velocity on a ticker tape timer. Here is a question. A ticker tape was produced by a ticker tape timer which produced actually 50 times per second. Calculate the time taken by the ticker tape timer from the first T to the last dot on the strip shown. So we have a strip here. So the first thing we need to know is to find the time, the number of ticks, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have actually 10 ticks. Therefore, the time interval will be equal to number of ticks multiplied by the time interval for 1 tick, which is 0.02 seconds. Therefore, it will be 10 multiplied by 0.02 seconds, which gives us actually 0.2 seconds. This is the time interval from the first dot to the last dot. So this is our number A. Number B, calculate the average velocity of the object shown. So the average velocity is found by velocity is equal to displacement divided by time, which is equal to displacement over time, which is equal to 10 centimeters, as we saw, divided by 0.2 seconds. Therefore, our velocity would be actually 50 centimeters per second. And so we have known how to calculate velocity on a ticker tape timer. So those who want one-on-one lesson, you can contact me on +260 977 41 9949, and we can actually discuss where you pay a small token so that we can actually do more examples on these lessons. I thank you.